Hey everyone, I hope all is well. I wanted to make this video today because it has been nearly a month since my mental breakdown. It's a lot to take in. Not like because I feel weird or I feel down or anything. If anything, this past month has been like one of the happiest months I've had in so long. Like I can't even explain it. But I wanted to make this video to share what happened, and not to like show off or anything like that or attention seek. I don't want to do that. I don't want anyone to feel like I am doing that. But I wanted to share this story because it's something true, and it's something that everybody has different issues with. Anxiety is a true and real thing, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone or that they can't get help. I've been there so many times, like not being able to get help, and it's the most painful thing that you'll ever face if you don't know what to do. I still don't know what to do to this day, but I'm going to share what I did to help myself, because if I didn't do what I did that day, I wouldn't be here making this video. So here we go. Basically, I'd finished work and I'd started night shift. This is like one of my first night shifts, well, first full-time day on night shift, something like that. It's all weird. Like my hours have been really messed up, but I was already overthinking throughout the night. Not anything too major, just like little things about myself and stuff like that. But it's when I was just leaving work, where it started to get dark, that I was saying to myself that nobody liked me, that I wasn't welcome in that place. As most people might know, I got turned down for a promotion, and I felt like I got turned down because I just wasn't good enough, and that nobody would want me to be in that position. So yeah, and also giving up college as well was really, really difficult, and that's always been playing on my mind. I know I don't really speak about it a lot anymore, but yeah, it's true, it's out there. But I was walking back home from work, and I was walking towards the bus stop, and the thoughts were going through my head over and over and over, and I just felt shit. But eventually it got to the point where I stopped, not because I wanted to, but because I was physically stopped in my mind. I stopped with a flash of white light in my head, and I saw myself cutting my wrist. I've seen these kind of things in my mind before, but this was different. It wasn't literally me doing a bit of harm and going on with my life. This was me genuinely ending my life. I'm slightly speechless because this is the first time I've ever said it like out loud to anybody besides the doctor when it happened. But yeah, I was stopped in my tracks. The light happened. I don't know why there was a light, but I was standing there. I felt physically like I couldn't move, and this is only like a 1 second thing, but it felt like it was going on for hours. I was standing imagining this happening, and it felt so real. Like I could feel the blade going into my skin, and it was a lot. It was a real bunch. But what else I can say really is that after it happened, again, when it knocked me, what happened, I had to find myself, and I continued to where I was going, because also I wanted to go home. I wanted to be in my safe place. So I got on the bus, but thinking, you know, this has happened before, these feelings will pass, but it didn't. I was on the bus, I was crying ridiculous amounts, but I didn't want to make it too obvious in front of my peers or whatever on the bus, because it'd be embarrassing, and I know by this point I didn't care, but at the same time I had this anxious part of me as well that I was going, you're even more of a loser if you're crying on this fucking bus. But I was crying, I was still visually watching this happen. Another thing that I didn't add, when I was standing after that image happened, after the light hit me, when I came out of it, it felt so real that I just felt myself faint. Like, not like literally faint, but I felt like I was going to. Like, it just felt so ridiculously real. So yeah, it's a lot, and that's something that's never happened to me before. But going on, I hopped off this bus, and basically I couldn't stop crying. I was still in that mind wave, and I was walking towards, well, there's like a block of shops. If I went, like, say that way, I'd be walking towards home, but if I went that way, I'd be walking towards the doctor. So it's like a metaphorical thing in my mind. Do I go left where I could potentially hurt myself or worse, or do I go right and go and seek the help that I need? And people who know me know that I'm really bad for asking for help. I message people if I feel like I need someone to speak to, but I will not go to a doctor. I've never felt myself going to one or felt the need to go. But that day I was just in a mess and I didn't know what else to do. So I took the right path and I marched myself to the doctor. I didn't just say, okay, I'll go and I'll just say something. I went up to that receptionist and she said, what's wrong? And I just burst out of tears. I was already crying anyway and I just could not speak. And it's like, I need to see someone right now or I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to make it home. And, and yeah, she was like, you can't walk in without an appointment. And I said, well, what other option have I got? I'm standing here and I'm begging for help. So basically I was standing there. I had to wait 2 hours to be seen to by a doctor. Literally 2 hours. Or no, a doctor came out, saw me, she spoke to me, she asked me exactly what happened and explained to her. And she said, no, I'm a doctor, this is something that I personally deal with, you need to speak to the mental health nurse. So I had to wait 2 hours to speak to this nurse. And I'm glad I did. I was sitting there and I called my mum and I didn't want to because I didn't want to worry her. Next thing I knew, she was, like, literally minutes later, she was in a doctor with me. She was sitting next to me and I was shaking like a leaf. I didn't know what else to do. The thoughts were still going on in my mind and I was all over the place. But I knew I had to first step over. I'd spoken to a doctor. I just had to wait and speak to a mental health nurse. So when she came out, we spoke and I explained to her what happened. And I realised, well, or my mum found out, that I hadn't been taking my antidepressants. Something that I recommend that you do not do. Take your pills if you have pills. And she directed me to another place that's called Access Therapies Fife. I'm a Fifer, so this is like my area. There might be one in yours. And she said, make sure you take your antidepressants every day. Look up Access Therapies Fife. You have to do everything yourself, as in like go online. There's like packs where you can learn different things about anxiety, about coping mechanisms, breathing techniques, all sorts. There's a lot to it, but it does sound very worth your time. Yeah, I'm so glad I went. Honestly, I said this already, but if I didn't go to the doctor that day, I wouldn't be sitting here making this video. It's a bold statement to say that, but it's true. If I didn't take that path, I wouldn't be here. But I just want to let you guys know it's not bad to ask for help. If you feel like you're in a bad place, go and get help. Don't do what I do and bottle it. Even if you don't want to go to a doctor, write it down, write your feelings down, speak to somebody, even if it's your mum or your friend. If it's somebody you don't particularly know, but feel like it's something that you can share, just get it off your chest. It could be literally to anybody. And don't do what I did and stop taking your antidepressants and feel like you don't need help when you do. Like, it's a lot. Mental health issues are, it's crazy. Like, I can't get past just how real that moment felt. Like, standing there, what felt like forever when it was really like 30 seconds of my life. A flash of light in a realistic moment. I just thought it was gonna end, and it didn't. I did what I thought was right in my own mental health, and I'm so glad I did it. I've made so many friends who are going through such similar issues, and the thought of them going through such a similar issue would just break my heart. Like, I'm such an emotional person. A lot of people know that. Recently I went to see Avi Kaplan, who's an American folk musician, and one of the songs that he sang is called I'll Get By, and it's a really, really emotional mental health song. And this is another time where I hadn't spoken about it, but he was literally just talking about the song and I broke down. I was standing there front row right in front of him like that, and I broke my heart. I just, hearing the words was just so emotional and impactful, and it was a lot. But again, I'm standing here a month later. It's not a long time, but I'm here 10 times healthier than I was. Admittedly, I'm kind of on the bad path of not taking my medication again, but I'm watching this, I'm going to watch this back, and I'm going to slap myself for hearing myself say that. But yeah, I'm here, I'm 10 times happier than when I ever was. And I will talk about my tattoo, but I feel like my phone is not going to handle the amount of time that I've been talking already. So, yeah, again, if you need help, go and speak to someone. Even if it's not a doctor, speak to anybody that might be able to help you. They might just tell you the same thing and go to a doctor or a nurse or somebody, but don't suffer in silence. It won't help anyone, it won't help yourself, it won't help your family. Because believe me, the last thing that your family wants is for you to be gone. That part of me inside thought, like, I would be letting my whole family down if I went away. But I didn't. You'll get through this. You're strong, you're loved, and you're enough. I love you guys so much. See you guys later.